Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria and its aftermath. You know that after Inec, the Independent National Electoral Commission, announced the result of the presidential election on March 1st, 2023, the sing song was that anyone who is aggrieved should go to court. Anyone who is not satisfied that Bola Ahmed Tinubu was declared the winner of the election should go to court. And in the interest of peace, security, and stability of the nation, the Labour Party presidential candidates, Peter Obi, and the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar, they went to court. Obi in particular, who enjoys enormous goodwill from the youths of Nigerians, who many had feared will take to the streets when the results did not go the way they had expected. They remained calm, they listened to Peter Obi, and Peter Obi told them that the only option for them now is to go to court, which they have done. But the information we are getting now from what is happening in the courts or in the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal is that some of the witnesses that P2B ought to present are being obstructed. And this obstruction is not palatable and it may have impact on the petitioners because it will stop them from being able to prove their case. That is why it is important that this information, those in authority, those in the court, the appeal court, in the election petition court, and elsewhere, should ensure that they are allowed Peter Obi and Labour Party and everyone else that need to bring a witness to bring that witness seamlessly without any incumbrance. And the worrisome part now is the one that has to do with foreign witnesses, especially the Americans, which we are going to look at right now. And before I go further on this, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, what is the story that we're going to discuss? The story we're going to discuss is the allegation that P2B is being obstructed from inviting American witnesses on Inec server glitches, which reportedly happened on February 25, 2023, on the day of the presidential and National Assembly election, according to Inec. Now, the revelation from the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal indicates that the petitioners may be frustrated from proving their claims unless the reluctant attitude of the tribunal changes. The petitioners have applied for several witnesses to be subpoenaed to appear and testify. However, the present state of things is that the tribunal is reluctant to approve some of the witnesses, the application of some of the witnesses, particularly the ones that has to do with foreigners to appear as witnesses at the court. The revelation is that the tribunal ordered that the application should not bear the name of the chairman under the signature. Now, even after the amendment was effected, the tribunal is still reluctant to approve the subpoena. The petitioners are, of course, we know that the petitioners are allocated days to conduct their cases. So the petitioners are given days to conduct their cases. If after those days pass, sorry for you, you can't do anything about it. So that's how they will use that kind of technicality and knock you out. Now let's go. He said, if the approval is not granted in good time, witnesses may not be able to appear to testify. Witnesses will not be able to be acquired to come and testify. Because, for example, you want an American software engineer to testify on the issue of Inec server. It's not something that you just call him up today and tell him tomorrow you are going to appear. You have to come to Nigeria to come and testify. There's a need for time. Unless, of course, if they are going to accept Zoom witness. I don't know whether Nigerian court system allows Zoom witness, so that a witness can present his testimony by Zoom. I don't know whether they allow it, especially for those foreigners. Because if you have to bring them down to Abuja, you have to pay for their transport, they have to arrange for their movement and all that kind of things. So it's something that there's a need for good timing for them to be able to arrive in Nigeria on time to do the thing they are supposed to come and do, to come and bring the clarity that is needed on the issue of the Inec server and the glitches that was talked about. So those outside the country need time to be brought to Nigeria. And even the petitioners, they also give their whole process is timed. So if you waste your time, if within your period you could not be able to bring your witness, that is how your matter will die, and that will be a miscarriage of justice. But the justices will feel that it's your fault. You didn't bring your witnesses. But they should approve these witnesses as being requested. Okay, let's continue from the information we have from what is happening in the court in respect of P2B's witnesses. Now, in such an outcome, the tribunal would have inadvertently promoted the case of the other party. Of course, that's what it means. If P2B and Labour Party could not be able to bring the witnesses they need to prove their case, it obviously will appear as if the justices are helping the other party. That's what it will look in the eyes of the public and in the eyes of reasonable members of the public. Basically, that's what they will think. Now, one of such revelation is that the application to subpoena Amazon Web Services, AWS, to prove that contrary to Independent National Electoral Commission claims that there was a glitch or glitches with the system that prevented the uploading of the presidential election results as prescribed by the INEC guideline. Under the INEC guideline, most Nigerians were told that the result of the election will be transmitted live from the polling units through the beavers. Okay? The beavers machine will take the pictures of the result, put it out there on the portal of INEC, and it will be viewed real time by anybody interested from all over the world, we are told. Now, recall that after the election, INEC couldn't give a clarity on what really happened, why they were able to transmit only the senatorial and House of Representatives results. But Festus Okoye, the, uh, the spokesperson of INEC, was the one that came out to say that they experienced glitches, but there was no problem, that INEC server or everything was intact, that INEC didn't have any problem, but they experienced glitches. That was the only thing we are told. And that understanding, that message was also regurgitated by the INEC chairman himself, that what we had was mere glitches. Okay, was glitches. That INEC server was so secure that nothing could have affected it. So if it was so secure and nothing could have affected it, why wasn't the presidential election results transmitted? Because that is the bone of contention right now. And that is the reason why many Nigerians believe that the election was compromised, was not free and fair. That singular reason of the inability of INEC on election day to transmit the result of the presidential election as agreed, as contained in INEC guideline. That's why many people today are not accepting the results that INEC is parading about as the result of the presidential election of February 2025. Now, that was what INEC told Nigerians, glitches, and that they also assured Nigerians that their server was intact. But they have not been able to explain to us the kind of glitches that made it impossible for the presidential election result to be uploaded. They didn't do that. Now, that is where it gets interesting, as now we are in the court, and the issue of that glitches is now subject of adjudication, because it is key to the things, to the evidence that Labour Party and PDP want to present to show that INEC allegedly compromised. Because if there was nothing with the beavers, then why whoever failed to transmit that result or give the order or give out the code for the transmission of that particular result participated in an act of sabotage and compromise of the election. And there ought to be consequences, both for the beneficiaries of the alleged manipulation and for those who perpetrated it directly. Now, as I told you, INEC said it was glitches, but let us be reminded of what Lai Mohammed, the former Minister of Information and Culture, while INEC was saying that there was glitches, himself came out, Lai Mohammed, former Minister of Information, to say that INEC deliberately did not transmit the presidential election result. According to him, what happened on the 25th of February was that INEC, I'm quoting him now, he said, what happened on the 25th of February was that INEC observed that the results of the presidential election were not being viewed. And INEC, suspecting cyber attack, withheld the uploading of the results in order to preserve the integrity of the data. He continued, it immediately proceeded to float an alternative platform while asking its technicians to investigate what happened to each original portal. He explained further that it took up until 9 p.m. That's on the night of February 25. That it took up until 9 p.m. for the alternative portal to start working. End of quote. Now, what Lai Mohammed said was tantamount to admitting that INEC deliberately withheld uploading presidential election results on its IRIF or portal. Now, these various claims of INEC and Lai Mohammed can only be acceptable if it could be confirmed by the host of the INEC portal, the Amazon Web Services. This can only happen if the Amazon Web Services are subpoenaed to give evidence, which is what I understand that P2B and Labour Party want to subpoena the Amazon Web Services, who are the providers of the protection for the server of INEC, to come and tell Nigerians and indeed the whole world what actually happened on that very day to INEC server, whether it was intact, what stopped the transmission of results from the polling units to the beavers, okay, and beavers to the portal or the IRF. Now, it is this evidence that it is feared that the tribunal is allegedly obstructing by not giving accelerated approval to the application. So there is a need to look into this matter. That's what it means. Because since the Amazon Web Services are the ones that provided security, they are needed to give evidence to tell Nigerians and the rest of the world whether INEC server came under attack that day that necessitated what INEC did by deliberately shutting down the ability of all the polling units, electoral officers. Because if they had given the code, there was a code they ought to have given to the agents, to the electoral officials, so that they could be able to upload, because there's a code. Because if you watch most of that election day, many people electoral officers that couldn't upload, they said they were waiting for a code. They are still waiting for a code to come. That code never came. So who was holding that code? Whose responsibility is it to release those codes so that electoral officers of INEC, whether ad hoc or their real staff, to transmit the result through the beavers? They were given the code, obviously, to transmit the senatorial and House of Reps result. But the code to be able to transmit presidential election never came. That is the bone of contention. And there is a need for Amazon Web Services to come and give evidence on this matter. So P2B and Labour Party have applied for them to be subpoenaed, but that application are yet to be approved, and time is of essence. That is of concern to a lot of people. Now, meanwhile, it has been suggested, sources have said that Amazon Web Services, that their protection is top-notch. Their protection is top-notch. And that is why they are the most preferred in the world in the kind of services they provide. They are the number one preferred web service providers in Nigeria, in the world, because most governments and big corporations that you can think of, that is what they use to protect their data, they use the services of Amazon Web Services. And Amazon Web Services don't joke with that responsibility, because all it requires for them to lose their customers is for it to be found out that they could not be able to protect or provide protection effectively for any of their customers or clients. So they don't take it lightly, their duty of protection of data that are under their care. Okay. Now, but the important thing is they need to be allowed to come to Nigeria to come and testify on this matter. Also, recall that former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Esa Ali Pantami, on February 25, after the election, he claimed that Inec server recorded more than 12 million attacks. Of course, that is at variant with what Inec said. Inec never said anything like this, that they were attacked. But Esa Pantami, former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, claimed that Inec server recorded more than 12 million attacks. He said from both within and outside Nigeria's cyberspace, including Inec server on February 25. Now, the answer to these claims, all these claims, both the one by Lai Mohammed and the one by Esa Pantami, and then the claim by Inec of having glitches, all these issues will be settled once and for all when those who have the technical skill, the capacity to provide the technical protection for Inec server to come and say whether it was true that they were attacked by over 12 million. They were able to record 12 million cyber attack on Inec server on February 25. So that is why it is very important that the tribunal and whoever is charged should do the needful by accepting the application to invite the owners of or the staff of Amazon Web Services to come and give evidence. They should be subpoena. The subpoena application should be fast tracked. There shouldn't be anything like trying to obstruct it or trying to use bureaucracy or whatever to stop it, because these are not Nigerians. They need to be given time to appear. But if the law can permit that these Americans or these foreigners who works with Amazon Web Services, that they can give their testimony by Zoom, maybe that option can also be considered. That's my take on that. But if Nigerian law does not permit a witness giving evidence from afar through Zoom, then the application for the subpoena of Amazon Web Services should be fast-tracked by the court, because anything short of that will be interpreted as obstruction of justice by Nigerians, and that will not be in the interest of democracy, due process, and what have you. So that's my my take on this. And if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And don't forget that, as I promised you, This information, we are getting it from the reliable sources, because the courts couldn't agree to transmit the proceeding live, but there are people, reliable people who are in the court there, who, you know, give us this information so that we know what is going on. Of course, they are not allowed to record those these things that are going on there, but at least they are free to document information and share it with some of us so that we can share it with you. Thank you for watching this video. God bless you and yours. And please don't forget to like this video, and because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. God bless you.